Howdy, y'all, and welcome back. Sons of Liberty Gunworks M4-89. So, this used to be my Rocket Armory LGO number 7 build, and now it is a complete Sons of Liberty build. So, let's take a quick look at how we got there. All right, so here's the old Palmetto State upper and the Sons handguard, and you can see that the Sons handguard is T-marked and the Palmetto State upper is not. But more importantly, if we get right up onto where they adjoin one another, they are just barely different sizes. I'm trying to really accentuate that and show you. I know it's not like the biggest deal in the world, and I could kind of live with the anodizing being different. A little annoying, but this anodizing is going to be different than my old lower anyway, so that's not that big of a deal. But this joint right here, just absolutely, it's just a little bit of a lip, and it was like, that last piece of Palmetto State on this rifle just really wasn't cutting it. I wanted it to be proper Sons of Liberty upper complete, so there we are, and I'll get back at you with the rebuild. And now it's pitch black dark outside, and I've lost all my light, but there you go with the Sons upper. The branding going on. We've got the T marks, and I know on camera it's really hard to tell, but this is all just, it's still not just the teeny tiniest bit, but it is basically flush. Much different than that Palmetto upper, and overall I am pleased. All right, so we've got the full Sons upper mated to L7, and man, that two-tone really kind of bugging, and it's a nice fit, super tight, but there you can really tell the two-tone vibe going on. It just doesn't quite jive. So boom. Yeah. So let me throw this together and I'll have thoughts and stuff. And just like that, what was L7 is now a full Sons of Liberty Gunworks M4-89. See if we can get it all in frame. There we go. All right, so let's do a quick rundown of the build. Forward controls design, 3-prong flash hider, and this is a Plan B adapter. Mod light, it's the little guy. And then we've got the M89 handguard, not the new super expensive L89. Irregular defense, foregrip, hand stop, whatever you want to call it. Got the EOTech. And then we have battle arms development, mag release, and maritime bolt catch. Battle arms safety, which I just like these a lot. It is not ambi. BCM grip. We've got the Sons trigger, Radiant Raptor, B5 Bravo stock, and this is now a proper staked from Sons of Liberty Gunworks and Sons buffer tube with the Geisley Super 42 inside, and then the Sons of Liberty Gunworks Phosphate BCG. So it is pretty much a full-blown Sons build. So not exactly the same thing as buying one from them turnkey, right? But After building my Noveski, the idea of having a complete matchy-matchy rifle really started like sinking in. And then what made that, unfortunately, like even more pertinent was the recent loss of my best shooting buddy, who his widow now has his gun collection, and we're gonna eventually deal with turning some of that back into cash. There is something to be said for the resale value of a piece that is all branded together, if that makes sense. So, if you've got a Geisley lower, but then like a Arrow upper, and then so is it an Arrow or is it a Geisley, right? And it starts becoming hard to value if you just take this to a gun store to try to turn it into quick cash. If you can wait and find the right buyer who can appreciate all of the bits and pieces of a build, you might be able to get more of that total value. But if you take it in to a gun shop or a pawn shop, they're gonna murder you for having a mismatched, right? Whereas a complete build where all of the parts, the upper, the lower, the handguard, the barrel, everything checks out as one brand, they can use a blue book to kind of get an idea, or go online and say, oh, okay, this is roughly what these are retailing for. I can probably get X amount for it used, so I'll give you this much, wholesale or trade-in value, or whatever you want to call it. So there's just the idea of having a complete matching rifle kind of makes more sense to me now than ever before. I still have L7 is now in the process of getting put back together with the Faxon Barrel Midwest Industries handguard. This is a Palmetto upper. We've got the Rocket lower, Palmetto tube, right? So I've got kind of like most of a rifle, kind of. I still have a LaRue trigger to put back in here. I need another BCG and another buffer. Well, I have some like mil-spec stuff, but I could actually put this back together, everything except a BCG. But I'm going to hold out and get a few nicer bits and pieces to go back on here. But anyway, this will always be a mutt build, right? Because it's a Rocket lower. I have the Rocket lower with a complete BCM upper. That's a pretty almost complete BCM rifle minus the lower. But I don't know. There's just something cool about having the whole rifle one brand, and I really enjoy that with my Noveski. It just feels right. The upper lower fit on these is fantastic. They are not a paired, matched set, but they snap together like a matched set would. So definitely something to be said for that. We've got the full T markings and just the little things that make a rifle nice. What was also cool about this is I came in by building it myself. Every single component of this I have found on sale. And so I probably saved somewhere in the neighborhood of about $300 by building this versus buying one out of the box turnkey. And that's just, every single thing. I wait either for Primary Arms to do a 12% sale or, elsewhere. And I hunt the sales, and everything I've put on this rifle was bought at a discount. So that helps a lot. Got it to the range today. I had to re-zero the EOTech and the winning target of the day. So it was kind of funny. I was packing up. I was about ready to leave. Got the rifle in one hand. I got my range bag over the shoulder. And then I have my stack of targets, and this one was on top. And there's this crusty old RO who's been at this range for at least 10 years. Super not friendly. Like, he seems like he's never in a good mood. And he's walking by, and he looks at the target, and then he looks at the rifle, and then he looks back at the target, and he looks up at me and goes, "You had a really good day, huh?" And I was like, "Yeah, I shot all right." So this is some 75 grain AAC. For whatever reason, I'm having good luck out of this Sun's cold hammer forged 14.5 barrel with this particular ammo. It was definitely the winner of the day. What also made a big difference today, longtime viewers will get this, is that I finally broke down and got myself glasses. And wore them shooting some pistol a couple weekends ago. Didn't make a big difference. But shooting out at 50 yards, holy crap, I could actually see the white of the bullseye. When I first got to the range, there was a real crazy glare. Sun's coming out of the south. And it was just, so I had to turn the EOTech up a little bit, and then it was blooming a little bit. And so I didn't get real great groups, but I got it zeroed. And then that glare kind of toned down as the sun moved over, and I was able to bring the brightness down on the dot enough that I could actually see the dot inside of the white, or like as close to it as I'm probably going to get. So, and then, wow, better accuracy. So shooting off an EOTech with no magnification at 50 yards, I'm pretty happy with those groups. It's not amazing, but, you know, for what I was working with, I'm pretty happy with that. So glasses, who knew, right? So anyway, I think the real moral of this video is take your time in building a rifle, and you can build a dream rifle, right? I'm pretty much mostly a poor, but by doing things in stages, hunting sales, and being patient, you can build out a really dope rifle with some solid value to it, instead of just slamming together, you know, a super mutt rifle that nobody wants. Right? So anyway, that's all I got for this one. Just wanted to share that I'm super pumped. I got a whole, you know, Sons of Liberty build. So, and L7 will live on. Might even turn this into a 300 build. And if I do that, then I will give the complete upper that I've got going on here away. So stay tuned. I'll make up my feeble mind about that. It's also tempting, though, to make that this is super, super lightweight, and I did really enjoy having a really, really light build. That Suns is a tank, so we'll see. But probably the next giveaway item. Until next time, be easy, y'all.